Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to explain assignment week 7. Actually, it's similar to assignment week 6, but there is a little bit difference. The difference is in the last week, you enroll uh, students for Bellevue University with array. But this week, you would like to use collections. Before I want to go deep in the code, let's run the program. So I click right click and I hit run. As you can see, the first thing you can see here, they mentioned that there is no exist file. A new one will be created when you save. It means that right now, because that's the first time you want to run this program, there is no data available in the file. So let's go to insert some new data. Insert. So as last week is similar to last week, number one is insert new information for students. Number two is update the information if you want. Number three is print all information. And number four is exit the program. So let's print on the three. I want to print it, make sure there is nothing available in the file, and mention that no file found yet. Please insert and save a student first. Okay. So for insert the students, I hit 1 and I write, how many students do you want to insert? I want to say, okay, 2 students. What's the first name? The first name is Sarah. And the last name is Blue. And the major is computer science. And the student's ID is 1, 2, 3. And GPA is 4. So the second student, the name is Luke. And last name is Lori. And major is software engineering. And student ID is 456. And GPA is 3.7. So take a look at here. Before they want to save it in the file, they give you this information to confirm. So this is a Sarah, this is a Luke based on that. But something is different compared to the last week. It's sorted by last name, first name, and student ID. So the last name of Blue, B alphabetically is before than L. So that's when you can see the Sarah on the first line. So confirm it. Yes, I confirm. So right now I can print it. Again, you can see that. And if I want to insert another one, I want to insert one. So how many this time is 1. So what's the first name? The first name is Mo. And the last name is Ali. And major is bio. The student ID this time is 789. Before I want to write duplicate a student ID. Here mentioned that the student ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have it. So I mentioned it should be unique. I would like to write 1, 2, 3. And you can see these students already exist in the system. Please enter a different one. And I write, okay, 4, 5, 6. Again, we have it. If I hit nothing, mention a student ID cannot be blank. So it should be unique. How we can make it unique? We explain the code. So I write it 4789 and GPA is 2.6. And that is the more we want to add it. Yes. And here all we have it. And take a look at this time, Ali, because the last name is started with A, is on top of the list, is sorted. So let's go take a look at the code. Right, last time we have 3 classes, guys. The first one is demo student, is exactly like last week, nothing changed. So far, so good. And then we have a student class. So in the student exactly is like last time, but a little bit different. So we have a first name, last name, major, student's ID, and GPA. Here, because we want to compare, if you want to compare two integer is easy peasy, but right now I want to compare objects, your objects or classes students. How we can do that? As we explained in the material in this week, you have a two choice. One of the choice we selected for this example is implement comparable. So we write implement comparable, and here what you want to compare this class student. If I go to here to comparable, that is the interface, and this interface tell us you have to implement this method compare to. So far so good. Okay, so and then the class is they have an instructor, setter and getter with some validation like last week, and here is compare to and dimension override, and then that's your first task to do one. So write the code here. They mentioned that sort a student by your last name, by last name. If they have the same last name, sort by first name. If those are also the same, sort by student ID. So I write it by a student ID here. So this part was done. So you should handle this first up. It should be take a look at the code and figure out how we do that, and you will understand it. And here I use, okay, from this object, get a student ID. So the first student ID, because I handled the first one, compare to ignore the case. Please use this compare to ignore. You can use compare to, but compare ignore case, it means that is now important you write uh, lowercase or uppercase. So it's ignore case sensitive. And we compare this student ID with this object with other object. So that's the first one. So that's the students. Also, we use the equal method and hash code method, and you should know what's going on, why we wrote it. And also we wrote some method, helper method, and we talk about that. So the first class, you know that's the demo one, like last one. The second one, you learn it exactly like last week, but we just implement a comparable interface. And right now, go here. So in this class, so we mentioned that what is the name of the class, a file, we want save information. What is the header? Is first name, last name, major, student, GPA. And we created two collections. The first one is array list, is implemented the list. As you know, list is interface, and array list implement this interface. And this list or this array list, we call it students. We want to save all of students object at this array list. The second one is hash map, and we have a two key and value. What is the key? The key is a student ID. The value is object. Why? If you remember, I wrote duplicate student ID. They mentioned that you have it. You have not permission to write duplicate ID. How it understand? Because the hash map. So we write it. So take a look at the key. If we found object, they mentioned that that is a duplicate, and we go to code and we figure out. Okay, so if let's back to here. When you run this code, we create object from a student roster service, and then the first thing you call it is load from file, what they are doing. This method loads a student from the text file into collections. So it means that if we have a file, we save it. Before we are doing something, first clear these two uh, collections, and then open the file, and if they find it, then read the first line, and the first line, if you find something, then create object. How? As you know, let me here, let open the file, let open the file, uh, let me open the file we created. Uh, Open with text. Okay. So here is the information we right now inserted. So when they want to read it for the first time, they read the whole of the read. So we want to create this information to object. How? So we call it this method. We wrote this method. So you have not do anything else. So it's ready. So in here, we call it, where is that? From lines. In the from line is in the students class. They get this line. This line means all of these lines. And then split it by a space. As you can see here, I use a regex, or you can use it a space here. So don't change anything here. I just want to explain how the algorithm, how the concept behind the scenes of this project. And then we got it first name, last name, major, ID, and GPA. And all of them, we create a new object here. So far, so good. And we will back here. So it's piece of a cake. Hopefully you understand. So it for the first time, it opened the file. If file is available, then take a look at each line, and each line they created object and save it in this object S. And then we want to save this information in students, and then save it as this hash table. How we want to that? That's the second task for you. That's second to do for you. So add students objects, it means add S, to this list of students. And also add a student's ID to this map. So far, so good. So you have to add this S to students and to a hash table with the name of students by ID. So that's the second. And then the rest of them is okay. Here we have a save to file. You do not have to do anything. I want to explain how it's working. So I created a new array list, and I want to copy the students. The students what here? This array list, what we read from the file. I want copy it in the new students, and I write it sorted. And then I want to write to sort these guys. We will write, there is a comment, we call it collections with capital C dot sort, and then pass the array list. It's automatically sorted. If this array list was integer, right, similar to number 2, 10, 5, by roll of a dice number, you put it in this integer. So you do not have to do anything else. But because we have an object here, we have a string, and we have a class of students, you have to go to the class of students to do one and complete comparable. Okay, this part is not worked right now, just sorted based on the student's ID. You have to fix this part in the students compared to method. And I just want to explain how when you have create a array list, and you want to add another information of array list to the new one, how you can do that. That is how we write it, and then how you can sort it. This information, you write collection.sort. And then after that, we want to save. That is the save method. We create the file. If it wasn't available, then save write the header on the file. The header is here. First, write this part, and then go to each line. So students is to stored. What is stored? Stored is this array list. So go by each object and write it s to a string. What is s to a string? So even if you write s, it work. Why? Is your questions. So try to do that, and if it's work or not, let me know. So we write it here, we save it in the file, and that you have not do anything in the save to file. I just explained the method we are using. The next method is we print the content of the student's file directly from the disk. So that is what we used for the last assignment, week 6. So we want to print the file, what is in the file. So we go to open the file and then print it, and nothing new. The second one, print students from memory. So that is students from memory. So we first, what is the memory? What it means? Means that memory, you have a two memory right now, the student's memory and the hash table or hash map. So we want to print this part because this memory is not still in the file, is in the hash, in the heap of the memory in your computer. So then print file from memory, we check it. If a student is empty, print no students in memory and return it. Nothing happened. But if something was available, then what happened? We create another list with the name of, again, sorted. We write it the students. That's why I explained how you copy information from one array to another array list. And then we write some information here. We print header, and here is a do to tree. Print all information in sorted list with details and sort them. So for this collection, for this array list, you have to do two things. One, sort it, and two, you should print it, save it. So print it. Print the object. So far, so good. So that is, so you should, and you know how you should sort it. I talk about that, and you know how we should print it. So we have something in the method in here. You take a look and you understand. And then here is insert flow. So that's the main job. When you click one in the demo, they show you, okay, we want to insert, ask you how many students you want to insert. So when you write insert, for example, and 2, we read it from here and then put it on how many. For example, it's 2. And then we create a array list with the name of batch. I want to add all of this information. You write it in the console in this array list with the name of batch. So we got it first name, last name, major, and then we get a student ID. For a student ID, make sure it should be unique. So we got it a student ID, so they check it. We have a couple of things in check. If a student ID is empty, if it was empty, the student cannot be blank. If it passed this condition, go to the second one. This student ID is available on the file. If it was, they mentioned that students already exist in the system. And the last check is we want to check in the memory. Is a student's ID in the batch? What is that? That is a method we created. So you send the batch. Batch is the list of students you inserted in the console and a student ID. You go here. So here is the last to do for you. You have to write your code here. What you should do, you should check this student ID available on this list or not. If it was available, return false. If it wasn't available, return true. And let's back to the. So just for your information, if you want to go to this method, you hit Control in the Windows or a Mac, hit Command and go here and click with your mouse. You directly go to this method. And if you want to back to the where you was in the Windows, hit Control and Alt and hit a back arrow. You back to your previous location. So that's the last one. And then take a look, and they confirm it if it was okay. Please take a look at. So that's a great sample to improve your knowledge in programming. And the last method is for update flow. You have not to do anything in the update flow, but please take a look at how we update it. It's similar to last time. And we have some several helper method. So far, so good. So I want to wrap it up. What you have to do, you have to finish 4 to do. The first one is in the student class. You have to go to the compare method and compare two method and fix this part. This last 3 is on the student rows service, and you should fix that. And if you have any question, let me know, and good luck with your programming. And again, don't forget, to be master in programming, you have to practice, 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 and make your hand dirty.